guys, I'm Travis Taylor from Capital City Nissan in Topeka, Kansas, also known as the Salsa Robot on YouTube. Today, I want to go over a 2023 Nissan Rogue S. This is the base trim level. I'm going to show you why pound for pound, this is the best value on the market for a small SUV. Let's check this thing out. Well, I'm going to start underneath the hood on this 23 Rogue S. This is the all-wheel drive edition. You can get this also in a front-wheel drive. That'd be the most basic Rogue you can get. This one is an all-wheel drive because we find in Kansas a lot of people do enjoy the all-wheel drive because we do get some weather from time to time. Underneath the hood here, we've got the 1.5 liter VC turbo engine. It's a 3-cylinder with 4 valves per cylinder, so you got 12 valves. This is a variable compression turbo engine putting out 201 horsepower and 225 foot-pounds of torque. It's all mated up to an Xtronic CVT transmission that helps you get down the road, and with that power out of such a small lightweight package coupled with that Xtronic CVT transmission, that's how you're getting the gas mileage out of these Rogues. It's outstanding gas mileage for a vehicle this size, but we'll go over that here in a little bit. A quick overview of what you've got going on under the hood here. You've got your coolant overflow reservoirs here. Back behind that strut tower, way back in there behind that insulation, you've got your anti-lock braking system. That's your control module for that. Right up front here, you've got your dipstick for checking your oil. Of course, your oil filler cap right down in there. Back over here, washer fluid, real easy to get to. You're going to have your brake fluid right there. Easy to check your brake fluid. Your batteries right here. Air filter right here. And of course, there she is. That is your VC turbo. This is one hot motor. Mark my words, in the future, you are going to see some really cool things with this engine. Driving one of these Rogues already and how small this engine is with the transmission, all I can think about is how small of a race car I could put this thing in to go out around a road course. I mean, I think this thing would really tear it up. And even on top of that, you know, in a micro sprint out on a dirt track, I think this thing would be a terror. Definite force to reckon with some modifications. But let's go check out some more stuff on this vehicle. Okay, this right here is your drive mode selector. In a front wheel drive S Rogue, your most basic, you're gonna get 3 settings. You're gonna get an auto, eco, and a sport mode. This is the all-wheel drive. So I've got auto, eco, sport. All the way over here, I got snow mode and off-road mode. Definitely in town, this eco mode is the way to go. That's gonna save you some gas. But boy, if you're out on the open road and you're wanting to pass somebody, click that thing into sport mode. That's gonna be awesome. But if you're just not wanting to mess with anything, put it in auto and let the computer control what's going on. The 23 Nissan Rogue S comes standard with 4-wheel disc brakes. Along with this, you get the anti-lock braking system standard. This has electronic brake force distribution. What it does is it senses how hard and how fast you hit the brake pedal. It helps the computer determine if you're in an emergency situation and it needs to apply extra force to help you stop even faster. That's pretty cool. Another thing you get, let me look at my notes here, also has to do with your braking system here, sorta. It's attached to it. You've got an independent front suspension and rear suspension, and a hill start assist. That hill start assist, you're on a pretty steep hill, the vehicle's not going to roll back when you let off the brake from like say you're at a stop sign. It's going to actually hold you there for about 2 seconds and give you time to apply the gas pedal to go ahead and move forward from a stop if you're on a hill. Another thing, on the S all-wheel drive, you have a 17-inch wheel standard. This is kind of a cool, it's like a gray alloy wheel. What's the tire size here? It's a 235, 65, 17. That's a pretty common tire size, so when you have to replace tires, it's going to be fairly cheap to replace tires on these. Let's go around, let's look at some more stuff here. While I'm also talking about brakes, this does have the electronic parking brake with auto hold. I'll point that out inside where that is once we get into the interior of the vehicle. Another really cool thing about the 23 Rogue is standard on the base model. You get LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. These also have high beam assist. I'll go over that again later, but what that does is if your high beams are on and it detects light coming at you from another vehicle, it'll automatically dim your lights. Something else you're going to get standard on this S Rogue is the active grille shutter. That's in here. You really can't see it. It's one of those options on the car you don't even know you have. It's really cool because the active grille shutter, when you're driving down the road and say you've got your air conditioning on at its highest level and the vehicle just needs more air and needs more cooling, that active grille shutter will open up to allow more air to get into the inlet where your air is coming into your radiator to help cool your vehicle. This will improve your aerodynamics. It'll reduce your drag coefficient by about 9%. Again, that helps with the great gas mileage you're going to get out of the Nissan Rogue. And it just, again, stacks up with that technology that I can't believe you're getting all this tech in a base model car. Again, pound for pound, I'm going to prove to you this Rogue is the best value on the market for a base model SUV. Let's move on to some more stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to go over some of the options you're going to have on the outside of this vehicle. Of course, you're going to have your composite black mirrors here. These are manually folding. They just push in if you need the extra space to get in and out of a tight area. They're also power mirrors. You're going to have hard plastic black door handles, right? Instead of like body color. Your side trim down below here is going to be black. You do have splash guards in front of or behind the wheel there, and right back here as well on the back wheel. Your front bumper and rear bumper, you'll notice they're a black plastic as well. They call this up here, let me get this camera right. They'll call this your rear spoiler on an SUV. It helps get that air off the back of the vehicle instead of dropping down and following the glass on the rear. And up here, your antenna, it's going to be just basic and black instead of like body colored on the higher trim levels. And then you've got like a two-tone, as you can see on that bumper. It's gray on the bottom, black on the top portion of that bumper. Go back along the vehicle here and show you how that's kind of what you're dealing with here on the front as well. You're gonna have gray on the bottom, black along the top of that, and then body color on the rest of the front end. One thing you're going to notice on the base model Rogue is instead of a power seat, you're going to be looking at a 6-way manually adjustable seat. You can raise your seat up, lower your seat down. This right here, this lever is going to move this part of the seat back and forth. Of course, you're going to have cloth seating in the S. This is the zero gravity seats that Nissan is so famous for. Very comfortable seats on long trips. Let you get a look at that cloth seating material there. Let's see if I can open this back door. And as you can see, you've got that back here as well. Also zero gravity seating in the back. Nice, comfortable seats for long drives. Let's check out some more features. Okay, starting right here on the door, of course you can see, even though this is the base model, you've got this cool brown that goes around the dash and the top parts of the doors. You've got this nice gray cloth insert here on the door that's going to break up from the black along the bottom. You get like 3 layers there. That's pretty cool. The black will of course come across the dash here. You've got some offset stitching here along the leather on the dash. I'm going to come right back over here. Your door handles, of course, are going to be the black plastic instead of like a shiny chrome finish. You're going to have power windows, power locks. Of course, here's your buttons for your power mirrors. This button here is your window lock to keep the kids from monkeying with the window switches back there. You've got this little cool detail here. I hope you can see this with the lighting where it says Rogue right across here. That's kind of cool. Right down here is where you would brighten and dim your dash lights. Up here on your lights, like I was saying, with those LED daytime running lights and LED headlights, you have the auto function here. That's where I like to keep it. Other than that, this is your turn signal. Whoop, I got the turn signals on. I'll confuse people. Of course, you've got, this is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, so that's going to go in and out, up and down manually, but I can lock it in there, and that's cool. Very nice for a base model car. You've got volume controls right here for your stereo. This is a 4-speaker stereo in the S. This will skip ahead in your tracks. This does have, of course, your Bluetooth. For talking on your phone, you can also stream your Bluetooth audio through your stereo. So like I've talked before, I love Spotify. This will skip ahead or go back on songs. Right up here, you've got your, of course, analog gauges. Here on the right, you've got an analog speedometer, analog tachometer, and in the middle, you've got this display. I believe that's a 7-inch display there. Digital display. This shows me my tire pressures. Also on this vehicle, you've got easy fill tire alert. So if you need to put air in your tires, you just do so, and the horn will honk at you when you hit the right tire pressure. Once you start putting air in, the lights will kind of start flashing, and once you hit your desired pressure, horn's gonna honk at you. You got a digital speedometer right there in the middle. That's pretty cool. I've got my cruise control right here. Easy buttons to operate that. It's hard to show these. Manual shift mode, I've got paddle shifters here. There's my positive shift, my negative shift. Remember, this is a base model car, and it's got that. Right over here, I've got an 8-inch Nissan Connect touch screen. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you can run your navigation through there. Simple audio controls. You can also use your Sirius XM through there. Down below here, of course, I've got a 12-volt port there, and I've got USB ports here, A and C ports. Here's that electronic parking brake I was talking about earlier, and the auto hold feature. Got this satin finish on top of the console. 2 cup holders here, bottle holders in each door, 2 cup holders in the back seat, bottle holders in those doors. Nice big console here, and that's split opening, so it's hard to show you with one hand, but I can open just one side of the console if I need to. Up here, of course, I've got my rear view mirror. Base model car. Keep this in mind. Base model car. I've got lights that light up for my vanity mirror. on a base model car. Glasses holder right there, sunglasses, driving glasses. You've got dome light up here, right? One on each side, map lights. Go back here, you've got a center mounted light. It's no chandelier, but you know, this is a Rogue. You don't need to roll around with a chandelier, do you? Look at this finish. Base model car, guys. This is a base model car, and I haven't even gotten warmed up yet. I got more stuff to tell you about this car. Now, there's some more features on this vehicle. It's kind of hard for me to show them. Like I've said before, easy controls here for your climate control, knobs and buttons. I love it. So simple to use right there. You've got your vents here. You can slide these to adjust air from side to side. You've got your hazard lights here. I was going to show you, of course, up top here, you've got a nice big backup camera with predictive lane showing you where the vehicle's going to turn. I don't know how to show you this. This car has rear door alert. So if you open and close that rear door and then get in the back front of this car and go driving somewhere, and then you stop, put it in park, and go to get out, it's going to alert you to check that back seat and make sure you didn't leave something in the back like a kid. Anymore, I don't know how the hell anybody could leave their kid in the back seat, but I'm sure it's possible. You get sleep deprived and the little one's back there sleeping, you might forget they're there. Let's see, what else can we point out here? I'm going to look for some more features I want to show you here. Along with the 23 Rogue does have keyless entry. This is your fob on the 23 Rogue. They've changed the design of their fobs. Also, this is your push button start on a base model Rogue. It used to be a blade key to get you going down the road, but now you've got a key fob, keyless entry with an intelligent key there. You just don't have the intelligent door locks on the outside of the door. Even though this is the base model, you still get the cool, very low profile, awesome, easy to use shifter. I love these shifters. I'm not banging my hand into the shifter trying to grab my drink, and I love that. I'll show you, you stick a bottle of water there. The Rogue shifter used to sit about as high as that bottle of water. Not anymore. I can retry for it. I love that. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this washer fluid function on the wipers, you'll know on older cars it used to just spray all over your windshield. This like sprays it out onto the wiper, so it's not splashing all over the place. That's pretty cool. I'd never noticed it until now. Another function, I don't know how I can show you this, but this has like driver alert. This is kind of a safety function. This is a base model car. Base model car. This is a cheap SUV. This damn thing monitors like your eyes. I don't know how it does it. It can tell if you're getting tired while you're driving and if you're getting fatigued. I don't know how you'd get fatigued because you got zero gravity seats and these things are a low fatigue seat. Somehow this damn thing knows if you're starting to get tired and it's going to alert you. I don't know how to show you what the alert looks like, and I'm not going to go drive around until I get so tired it does it. But that's a cool safety feature it's got that I'm not quite sure how I could display that and show it to you. But I wanted to make you aware of that, okay? Now, once again, up on this 8-inch Nissan Connect screen here, again, I want to reiterate, you've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you've got different screens here. This is touch screen. This thing, even though it's the base model, it's got, along with your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's got hands-free text messaging assistant, and it's also got Siri Eyes Free. those are pretty cool features if you've used them before. I mean, I don't have to tell you how cool those are, but that's something, again, you're getting that on the S Rogue. Now let's talk about some safety features. I need to rig up a tripod here and we'll talk about some safety. Now this is the part where I want to talk about, and this is kind of near and dear to me. This is why I sell Nissans. I've done some research, okay? I'm 42 years old. I know how to spot a safe car. Nissans are some safe cars. This is a base model car. Wait until I'm done talking about all these safety features. You're going to be blown away. Okay, very, very normal stuff, right? This thing's got seat belts, right? 5 seat belts, great seat belts, long warranty on the seat belts. Nissan wants to make sure you're safe. You've got these adjustable headrests. These are to help, you know, in a collision, your head might go forward and then it's going to go back. That's going to stop your head from going all the way back, you know. Hopefully I can move this seat. You can see this. Again, adjustable up and down the seat belts. That's an important feature to me. My wife's like 3 feet tall or 5 feet tall. I don't know. Very short. She's got to have that seat belt adjusted down. She's got to have this seat raised all the way up, right? I love the adjustability of all that. Keeps her safe, keeps my daughter safe, keeps me safe. Airbags. This thing's like being, I mean, you've all seen bubble wrap. If you get in an accident in one of these Nissans, you've got airbags coming out of here. There's like side curtain airbags. There's like a supplemental knee airbag. Airbag out of here, airbag out of there. I think there's even airbags come out of these side bolsters here. It's like, let me look at these notes. You have, I'm going to read this off so I get it right. Driver and front passenger front seat mounted side impact supplemental airbags. Roof mounted curtain side impact supplemental airbags with rollover sensors for outboard occupant head protection. Driver and front passenger supplemental knee airbags. Rear outboard seat mounted side impact supplemental airbags. That's awesome. That's a lot of airbags. That's like 50 million airbags coming out of this thing. I really like that. It's also got rear seat belt reminders. So if you're not 100% sure if the kid's actually buckled up, you're going to see on this 7-inch display up here who's buckled up and who isn't. That's really cool. Of course, this has got the latch system in back. I can point that out here in a minute. For fastening in car seats. You can put 3 car seats in the second row of this thing. One thing that's really apparent up here, you've got blind spot monitoring. It used to be here on the A pillars on Nissans. Nissan's moving it out on the mirrors now. There's a triangle out here on this side view mirror that is going to flash if somebody's in your blind spot, and it's going to chime at you too if you turn your turn signal on and you try to turn and somebody's there. Again, this is on a base model car. This is like I talked about before when I was talking about those LED headlights up front. This has got the high beam assist where it's going to dim your headlights and then go back with your brights when you're going at night if it detects somebody coming at you, so you're not blinding somebody, causing them maybe to come over into your lane and hit you. That's pretty cool. What else we got here? Lane departure warning with haptic steering wheel. That's where if you start drifting out of your lane, the steering wheel is going to vibrate for like 1.5 seconds and maybe even have a chime that goes off to let you know, hey, you're getting outside of your lane, get back over. On some of the other models, you'll feel brake pressure applied to kind of help steer you back into your lane. That's really cool too. Base model car. Intelligent forward collision warning. This thing's monitoring the car in front of the car in front of you. The car in front of the car in front of you. That's crazy. This thing's monitoring that far ahead of you and detecting on whether or not there might be a collision, so it can apply brakes. It may not stop you and keep you from being part of that collision, but it's sure going to mitigate the effects of that collision. You're going to be going a lot slower if you do get involved in that accident, keeping you safer. On a base model car. This is a base model car with that technology. Think about it. We just started like requiring seatbelts in cars in like, what, 68 or 69? Now we're monitoring the car in front of the car in front of you to see if there's going to be a wreck with a computer on a base model car. That's awesome. What else do we got here? I'm sorry I'm having to read a lot of stuff today. It's a lot to remember. I didn't study very well last night. Automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. It's incredible. This thing's going to stop itself. This is a base model car. And it's going to automatically brake if you're about ready to run into somebody in the crosswalks. Think about that. That's awesome. Rear automatic braking, of course. If you're going to back into something, a large stationary object, this thing senses it and it's going to keep you from backing into it. It's going to keep your insurance prices down for sure. And also rear cross traffic alert. With this backup camera, you're backing out of a driveway. This thing's going to let you know if somebody's coming down the street that you're not seeing, or maybe you're just not paying attention. This thing's going to keep you from running into them. That's awesome. On a base model car, base model SUV. That is very cool. Couple more things I was going to point out before I'm done today. Of course, right here's your sonar system when you're backing up. These little sensors here will tell you if you're going to back into something. They beep at you. But look at the cargo space in this. You've got the 60-40 split rear seat. Here are those latch anchor points for your car seats. This does have an extra little cargo package where you've got these cargo mats. This is a one-piece cargo mat that's like velcroed, or no, this part's not velcroed, but up there, those are velcroed to the back of the seat to protect the backs of the seats. And then right under here, you do have your first aid kit that comes with that cargo mat. Cool little, just extra package this Rogue's got. And I do want to come over here. I was telling you again, look at this mileage for an SUV. This is a base model SUV, 35 miles per gallon on the highway, 28 in the city, 31 combined. That's your EPA estimates there. Look at that. 30,790 MSRP. And there's your splash guards. This does have splash guards. And there's your cargo mat package on there. Without those, you'd be 28,860. And then when you put the destination charge in there, that's a cheap SUV. You can get even cheaper, and you can get the front wheel drive. But boy, I don't know. I think it's hard to beat this one right here. This one right here is really nice. So I want to thank you guys today for checking out this 2023 Nissan Rogue all-wheel drive. This is the S trim level base model. Again, I'm Travis Taylor from Capital City Nissan, also known as the Salsa Robot on YouTube. Please click a like and a subscribe. That really helps me out. And again, I'll look for y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good day.